All of a sudden, this guy leaves this club, and he called up and said, I want to start hunting with y'all. Well, it throws a flag up. We want to call and find out why he's not hunting with your club anymore.
But what the place, the system that's in power at this point is I just feel like is responsible for the clubs taking the concerns. It's about who they let into the clubs, because you share some responsibility for the actions of these individuals. Now, if you turn around and implement this compromise that you have here, you're creating a situation to where that the club holds no responsibility. If his dogs go over, you can actually create a situation where, okay, but he's lost his permit on them dogs, we'll just get another tag and another permit and someone else's name on the same dogs, let them hunt in the same club, you get the same group hunting. It's just that now these same dogs, they belong to Joe Breaux instead of Jim Brown.
Well, it's like any law, really. I mean, you can set and figure a way around most anything we got out there. But I can't tell you what'll happen anywhere. The only thing I can tell you is most clubs just trying to do better and keep their image won't do that. I mean, I can't tell you what everybody will do. If I could come up with a perfect law, I had a perfect solution, I've already done it. Okay. So I'll take y'all, it's there. Y'all gonna do with it like you want to anyhow. I'm just putting my opinion out there, and all we need is help.
What, Joe?
Let me have this. Just a question, and I had a call this morning from one of my constituents, and I think you probably know him, Melvin McKenna, and he called me this morning and said, don't vote for anything. Now, I don't understand why he called me. As hard as y'all worked, he's probably one of y'all's best members as far as I know. Tell me why he called me to do this, because after what I felt like y'all had tried to do the best compromise you could and coming up with a plan. Tell me why he's against this.
You know Melvin?
I know him very well.
You know the answer to that. Okay, but if you want me to tell you publicly, our president called him and talked to him. Since then, Melvin probably had some phone calls. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but our organization is not, regardless of what you've heard in the past or how it's worked, our organization is not run on one person,
I understand,
opinion. It is done by a vote. But if you can improve on what we got there, we'd be happy to take it.
So you're working on 4,500 now, is that correct?
No. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the order, Mr. Chairman.
Have y'all really looked at the other proposal that was drafted, the 4495, which basically does the first three cumulative violation under this paragraph within deer hunting season, a warning citation be issued. The fourth, basically it will be on a probationary status, and the fifth, it will be revoked on that track for a year. I understand, Mr. Dickey, what you're trying to do is get it off the club onto the dog owner. But in my opinion, this is a better bill for y'all than this other bill, because this bill is just adding some more bureaucracy in there to it that y'all going to have to abide by and making it a lot more complicated in the end. And I think if we pass this bill out, and we'll pass out whichever bill you want, but if we pass this one out for you, I think next year you're going to be back up here pitching a fit about it.
Have you got different bills? See, there was some of the figuring that was going on here yesterday never got to us. If you got the other bill, I'd like to see it.
Mr. Chairman, if I may say this, the only thing that I have asked as author of the bill of this committee and of you personally was to allow us a vote on this issue this year. That's the only thing I've asked. I've not asked you to pass it out of committee. I know it's or to even take our side on it, but I did ask that we be allowed to get a vote in committee on this bill. And I'm comfortable with the original bill. Matter of fact, I prefer the original bill. But if you choose to go with the substitute that was drawn up yesterday, then that's the choice of the committee. But the only thing I'm asking for, and have asked, is that we have a up or down vote in the committee. That's all I've ever asked for. And I would ask for that again this morning. Thank you.
Dr. Jean?
I was going to ask him just a minute. You know, we talk about dog owners and dogs. Some dogs are better hunters than other dogs. If I was in your club and I was a habitual problem, and I had old Joe and he was the one that was a dog, and then I said, well, hey, would you like to buy my dog? Would you buy my dog? He was concentrating.
Excuse me. Go ahead.
All right, we got, some of these folks got to get the rules in just a minute. Yes, sir.
I apologize. I wanted to respond to that. I apologize if it's with your permission.
Go ahead.
My big thing is, and the reason we're asking for up or down vote on this is because the dog hunters are not going to be able to produce 100% perfect situation. We have doctors that lose their license. We got lawyers that get disbarred. We're going to have rogue dog hunters. I think this organization has done all they could to clean it up. Now, I don't want to see them put to a different set of rules than everybody else. Everybody got rogues, and all you can do is police yourselves. But are they going to be perfect? No. But there's no other association in the state that's perfect either. But we'd certainly appreciate consideration of all of these hunters. No, not every hunter agrees, but they've got the overwhelming majority of the members of this federation are for this. No, it's not 100%. I wished I had 100% support in the 165th, but I ain't.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I think the one concern about the original bill that I kept hearing from this committee yesterday and from DNR and even from the hunters is we've got to protect the adjoining landowners somehow. That was what we tried to craft a compromise around, was protecting adjoining landowners. And that's what 4500 does not compromise any adjoining landowners' rights or property rights. 4495 doesn't either, but it's up to y'all, the will of the committee, as to what they want to do. But I think there's more of a consensus for 4500 by department, by hunters and landowners than there is a consensus to the other substitute that was offered. Now, did I phrase if I phrased anything wrong, somebody please speak up and correct me. Okay, was that a fair assessment? Was that a fair assessment, Mr. Dickey?
What was that, sir? I was reading.
Well, is it a fair assessment that 4500 was more digestible to everybody concerned than the other substitute?
Well, we haven't seen the other substitute yesterday, Mr. Crawford. I haven't saw it till just now. It's not a lot of difference, but yes, I like 4495S better. It really cuts it back to the one permit deal, but it still protects the landowner and helps us. When I say us, I'm talking about the legitimate dog hunters. And it still believes in place to take care of the rogue hunters.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, I know you got to get out. People have got to get out of here. What we tried to do was set in place a standard that where the hunting clubs and everyone would know which infraction, what every infraction cost them toward the end, and it took the discretion, some of the discretion away from the department, where they would know in both bills, where they would have some type of standard.
Yes, sir. There's a motion and a second on the floor, and I'm to the point with nobody agreeing that we just forget this thing and work on it over the summer. We worked on this thing for 3 hours yesterday. Mac and Wayne and Tom and all of them worked on it all night long. And then we get in here and can't agree on what we're doing.
Vote on the motion you got on the floor.
No, vote on it. Mr. Chairman.
Your button's on. Yeah.
Call the previous question.
Which one you answer?
4,500.
4,500.
They got a motion and a second on 4,500.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no.
You out.
Meeting's over. Thank you.